to see what comes out of the gates here for both teams. Meta's been kind of all over the place. I am curious to see if we start seeing some more of this slower play as we're starting to see some of these top teams opting for more of these more.
Couple targets to get some ult charge. Another fight is happening on the point, and Poyo on the Reinhardt goes down first, and that's going to be a massive pick on these control points, as now it is a 5v6 for the Salem Witches. The resurrection does come through from Sun and flying on that Mercy to bring them back into the fight. Jackie gets another pick on to charge a limb, and Jackie doing a lot of work here on this Wrecking Ball, with Fletus Actual comes back in on the McCree and takes out Alabama Boy on the Farron. Hulkhammer taking down Ali later, make sure that this is going to be turned probably for the Chengdu Chads here, as they are pushing through onto the point. They now have members and numbers, as the rest of Salem is having to back up or falling to their death. Charlie getting back in on the Tracer gets a nice kill on the Flutasexual, but it is too little too late, as the first pick does go through for Chengdu Chads, but now a Hulkhammer gets gets taken down by Charlie as well.
Really wild kind of first fight. Is swinging back and forth as we saw Charlie coming back, managed to pick up two, followed by one from Jackie. So this might be another very fast swap.
And Semi back onto the point with the Mercy, trying to keep their team healed up. Did use the Valkyrie there to make sure that their team was nice and healthy. Player goes through a charge across the point, but doesn't claim any victims of that. Pancake Summit getting very low, but Alabama Boy finds Semi-Fly, and so does the Mercy out of the fight. No more resurrection coming in for Chengdu, but Asexual is able to trade one out and take down Jackie. But Spoon gets right back in there. And now Alabama Boy with the big barrage coming in, takes down Flutasexual and nobody else. But Spoon's able to take down Poyu, and this will be a flip here, it looks like, for Salem.
I don't know if Arviso really needed that transcendence there. It seemed like there was multiple ults being invested there, both from Alabama Boy and Spoon. You know, they might want that one back. There's not really going to be a ton for them working back. So they did. Ali also use the Valkyrie. So no ultimates to speak of, although Jackie has been building these minefields really quickly. But this is really going to be Chengdu's fight to lose here, coming in with almost 4 ultimates.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, that was a very expensive fight for Salem, and now Chengdu Chads are going to have the ult advantage when they come back onto the point. Puyo getting in there on the Reinhardt, trying to push forward. They do have an Earth Shatter online. Alabama Boy finds the first pick of the fight, taking down Semi-Flying, and Jackie follows that up. And now the slam comes out from the Reinhardt as well, but they get hooked by Spoon. So they aren't able to take full advantage of that. Chargelim comes back in with a Riptire, gets rid of Farah. And now looks like it's slowly going the way of Chengdu Chads, as they do once again have the numbers advantage. Blooded Sexual coming in, finishing off Spoon, and that will spell the end of this fight. It looks like there is a bit of contestation happening from Jackie and Arviso, but that is coming to it. And now Rez comes out, so Salem's still fighting this right now, trying to get as much percentage as possible.
Pretty impressive contest here. The bio nade onto Spoon kind of finishes that off. It's been very scrappy. Just when you think a fight is over, I send him flying, gets a late kill onto Alabama Boy with the Valkyrie, gets the Glock out, finishes that one off. It's been very scrappy. So we did see a lot of ultimates used there by Chengdu, and it's kind of, the economy has now swung the other way here as Charlie has made their way onto the Doomfist. So Flutasexual is going to have their work cut out for them here. Is lots DPS in the air for them to deal with.
Spoon gets another initial elimination by taking up Flutasexual, and it's all happening right now. Alabama Boy throws in the barrage once again. Charlie finds 2. Spoon finishes off the other Reinhardt, and that'll be a quick clip coming in for Salem here. Very nice use of their ultimates as they decisively took that fight, and now we're getting close to final fight territory as Avircio takes down Pancake Sama, even though that resurrection does come through, so Pancakes is still in the fight currently.
Again, we saw both both support ults get used there for Salem, so not really a ton to work with here as Jackie gets bio-naded. Man, with Fletisexual's Deadeye here, this could be really opening it up with Jackie gone. Oh,
And
nope.
Fletisexual kills and then gets killed, so that gets traded right out, even though Jackie gets resurrected. Now Poya coming in and getting the Shatter down, and that finishes off the Zenyatta in Arvisos. And now this could go the way of Chengdu as they have to get back onto the point here. Poyo and the Reiner getting very low, has to be careful as Alabama comes in on the Tracer trying to get an elimination, but they find the Bio Grenade coming out from Hulk Hammer that takes them down. Charlie getting back to the point. They're going to have to do a massively hero play coming in from the Doomfist to get anything done, but it doesn't look like that will be the case as the flip has come through for the Chads, and they have taken the first round on Nepal.
Some nice Junkrat play there from Charge a Limb. We saw them eliminate Jackie on that Wrecking Ball a couple times. Just some well-placed traps, shutting down that Wrecking Ball, as well as the McCree. We saw Fletisexual really being on top of both the Farah and Charlie on that Doomfist. So some really nice work being done there. I want to see Arviso and Ali later stop doubling up on the support ults. Like they're investing a Valkyrie and a Trance into many of these fights, and I think it's coming back to bite them here. Is they don't really have much coming into the next fight.
Yeah, it's always tough when you go down with down a person like that, and we'll see what strategy changes coming in from Salem as they did lose that first round as we come into Sanctum here. So Puyo has switched over to the Hog, and they are probably going to look for some environmental kills with that chain hook.
I think this is going to be, everyone's going to be looking for environmental kills. You got Jackie, you got
Jackie.
Charlie, Alabama boy, heading back to spawn briefly here.
Fletisexual looking like Fleta. Fletisexual was able to take down 2 there, and now with the complementary eliminations coming out, this will be a first take for Chengdu once again. They looked very strong in that first team fight here on Sanctum.
Some good pressure there from Poyu from on the Roadhog. Misses the hook there, but I think they're just by virtue of being that threat near the cliff edge there, it made it a bit of an issue.
And we'll see what can happen here. That is an issue for Alabama boy as they get sent over the edge by Charge a Limb on the opposing Junkrat. So a bit of a Junkrat diff there on that particular play. Jackie's able to come back in with the help of Ali later. They are able to get 2 as the environmental kill comes in for the Lucia as well as there's a very nice boop coming out there. Fletisexual getting jumped on in the back by the Wrecking Ball, and they're getting very low, but able to stay alive so far. Ali later trying to get back in there to help Jackie out. Hulk Hammer is the one that actually gets taken down here, even though Fletisexual finishes off Jackie in the end.
Jackie's not getting as much value out of this Wrecking Ball here, which kind of surprises me. This is a pretty good map for Wrecking Ball. Oh boy, it looked like Spoon just got a little over aggressive there and got shut right down by that hook. And as soon as you get pulled in by that, and there's a Junkrat ready and waiting here, we have seen a Sombra switch from Alabama boy, so they're deciding not to take that duel with Fletisexual.
And that is a lot of damage coming into those hooks. And Poyo is finding a lot of picks here as they're able to take down Charlie once again, who was switched over to the McCree. Now we have a Riptire coming in as well from Charge a Limb, and that finds 2. And that will almost ensure another fight here as Poyo drops the whole hog as well and finishes off Ali later. So this will continue in the way of Chengdu Chads. They're up to 57% and counting. Puyo does get hacked, but is able to stay alive right now as there's just no follow-up to the manual hack coming in from Alabama boy. But we're really going to have to watch for the EMP here on the next fight.
There is, Alabama boy does have that EMP, and it could really shut down Fletisexual's ball.
And the EMP finds 4. That could be absolutely massive. This has to be the go button for Salem Witches as they do get onto the point. Jackie falls, but Charlie is able to find the limb to even that out, so it is 5-on-5. But it doesn't matter. Bob comes out, does something, and a lot of picks coming in thick and fast for the Chengdu Chads as they are asserting dominance right now, and they only need another 10% of capture progress here to take a 2-0 in Nepal.
I don't even know if they're going to be able to touch here. I think. Oh, there we go. Oh, Ball does manage to get Jackie puts those mines on there. Fletisexual with 3 picks.
Fletisexual, that was absolutely masterful on the Ash. They found so many final blows in that round on Sanctum. just a masterclass coming out there. And that is a very, very strong performance coming out from Chengdu Chads as they won that very convincingly.
Yeah, it did seem like it was getting, it would flip back and forth there. I think some of the alt investments here, as we saw, even in this play here, is we saw these doubling up the support alts, and I think if they had invested the transcendence, and then maybe held on to the.
And we are back. It's New Beat here with Aegis as we're getting for ready for our next round here of the mock Overwatch League. This season 6 week 1 matchup between the Chengdu Chads and the Salem Witches. Chengdu was able to first take the first map of Nepal, and they are now attacking here on Hanamura. And it's already looking good as Poya is actually able to get in and take down Aviso, and that will be a great first pick as now they moved over another point. And with Charlie falling on that Torbjorn, this could be a very quick first take coming for Chengdu as they've continued right where they left off.
Maybe some miscommunication there as Alabama Boy on that Bastion had some decent sight lines, but Spoon got caught out kind of on their own pretty early there. And we saw that Poyu was able to just kind of walk in, grabbed 3 eliminations right off the bat. Uh, and that was kind of it. So we had Alabama Boy already swapping over to this Junkrat to maybe work down Poyu's shield a little bit. Charge a limb on the Genji here too, so we might have a Nano Blade coming up.
This could be a very quick nano coming into Hulk Hammer, 68% of the way there right now. Poyu getting back in on the Rhine, just trying to swing away, get some of that ult charge up as well, trying to hold on to this high ground. As you can see, Salem Riches are up on the top right there, just peppering in damage on the Reinhardt. Charge him in the back on the Genji, trying to get some damage in as well with the Shurikas, but he gets hit by a hook. Has to use reflex to get out of there, still alive. Almost to the blade as well. So we'll see if they want to combo that with a nano. Fluttersexual found 2 with the Deadeye and then found Ali later for good measure. Pancake Salmon takes down Arviso as well. And this is looking absolutely dire all of a sudden for Salem Witches once again. And now the blade gets popped. And it doesn't look like he can find anything here as the Genji was not able to find too many targets. They were able to take down the Junkrat. Later and Jackie are back in getting picks using that very nicely placed window coming out from Ali later. And that's going to secure this defense for Salem Witches right now as they are able to hold on at 95% taken by Chengdu Chads. So that was very close to being an extremely quick take for Chengdu.
Just at the last moment, I cannot believe Fluttersexual got out of that fight. Hulk Hammer was hitting every shot with that Ana, and they're going to get pushed back here as Jackie invests the whole hog.
And the whole hog didn't find too much as Jackie was a little bit far away there, but was able to push out some of the attacks for the moment. Play going right down Main Street this time with the Reinhardt. Semi-flying in his pocket there, trying to keep them healed up. And now the Primal Rage gets thrown out by Spoon as they're trying to get back into the backline. And now the Nano Boost has been applied to the Reinhardt, doing a lot of damage with that Rocket Hammer, getting onto the point. Send him flying is able to get Resurrection onto Fluttersexual with the space created by their main tank pushing forward. But now they're stunned and taken out by Alabama Boy on the Doomfist. But it may not matter here as the picks are coming in once again for Chengdu, and they're going to be able to push this up here, getting close to the end. The meteor strike comes in from the Doomfist, but does not find any victims but themselves. And that is a very nice attack from the Chads. They must be happy with that.
You've got to be happy with that. A little concerning here, just by virtue of losing that first point so quickly. You're setting yourself up to be in a really difficult position. So it's there's 3:38 left on the clock, but you're only going to get so much mileage out of it when you give up the first point in one fight. So despite the fact that 3:38 is quite a bit of time for Hanamura, it is a very snowballing map, so that we could see a very similar time going the other way.
I absolutely agree. And it's all relative, right? That time bank won't look so big if Salem can throw up one that is similar to it. So we'll see what they're going to pull out here on their offense. It could be a little bit different. It looks like Charlie's flipping around here back and forth. They've shown the soldier, they've shown the May. So those might not be choices that they want to make. May could be very strong here. Those May walls being used to split teams up and create a little bit of space for a team to move in on the attack. So I think the May might not be a bad choice coming out here.
I think this could be a really good choice. Jackie on the Wrecking Baller is going to be dealing with a lot here with Fluttersexual on the Torb and Chargelim, who's really seemed to have their number with this Junkrat. I don't know if this is just a hero pool choice or a comfort pick or what. I do wonder if we might want to see a Reinhardt coming out here from Salem as well.
So Jackie came out on that Wrecking Ball once again and tried to get into the backline, but Alabama Boy and now Jackie have already been taken down in short order. So I would think Salem is going to want to back up here, as now they've lost 3 players, and there's just no way you can push point A and Hanamura when you're down half of your roster. But it looks like they haven't disengaged just yet, as now Fluttersexual and Poyu are moving forward, and a nice fire strike finds 2 at once as the Moira and Pilot Diva go down. So that is a very convincing first fight win coming in from the chats.
Salem just refused to disengage there, it seemed like. Both Spoon, Arviso, and Ali later just opting to stay and fight the 3v6. I expected, there's just not really a ton you can do to disengage there, except for Spoon, who I think probably had an option to use the boosters out of there. So it is going to set them back that minute, and they have swapped over to the Pharah here. So maybe hoping to take advantage of the more ground-based comp from Fleta and Chargelim.
Charlie has already been taken out on the Sombra, which is absolutely devastating for Salem, as now they can't build up that EMP quickly, as they're going to have to wait for that Sombra to respawn. But Sexual got very low on the Torgon and gets taken down. Alabama Boy follows it up by killing Send and Flying, which could be huge because the Resurrection and the healing from that Mercy are now out of the fight. Arvizo getting very close to the Coalescence. We'll see if they can get it off here. There was a shadow put in by Poyu, and they were able to take down Ali later on the back of that. And with Arvizo at 98% to a Coalescence, they aren't able to use that now. And this is going to be another fight with a strong ult advantage coming in from Chengdu Chads, but there is a self-destruct coming out from Spoon that is able to take down Poyu. So this could be the window right now, as Salem has to go in with this man advantage and get down on the point, see if they can start getting this capture progress going. Chargelin pops the tire and takes Jackie out of this world right now. And now with Sexual coming in with the Torbjorn as well, this is looking once again very grim for the Salem Witches getting back onto the point. They still have 3 members now too, as Arvisa goes down on that Moira. They did use their Coalescence, but to no avail. The Alabama Boy getting a nice pick onto Hulk Hammer, and with Jackie swinging through and taking down Charge a Limb, this could still be winnable for Salem Witches. They do have a barrage out and ready to go from Alabama Boy if they need it, but with the minefield on the point, it looks like they are going to get the point A take here in Hanamura.
I cannot believe that worked. It was so scrappy. The one advantage that Salem does have is their comp is extremely fast. So when they trade a kill, they're able to kind of like zoom back to the point here. Oh, Alabama trades Chargelum for Sexual, shooting them out of the air. The press Q to die from Fire once again.
An extremely aggressive barrage, and now that's followed up by the EMP coming out from Charlie as well, but there just isn't the follow-up once again as nobody falls. EMP is such an important ultimate. You wish they could take a little bit of a better advantage of that. Boy flying through the point with the charge, takes down Charlie in the end, and then Chargelum gets resurrected by Semi-Flying. So now with the picks coming in once again for Chengdu, they will hold on here. They will start bleeding time off that clock, and no matter what, they're going to end up with a better time bank than whatever Salem can muster.
Yeah, it's a low healing comp here with Arviso on the Zen, so they do have the advantage of the multiple defensive ultimates here. But there's not really a lot of support here for Alabama Boy. So they're kind of on their own here. There's only the Zen is really going to be able to heal them here as they go and grab a mega health pack.
Ali later tried to go in there and help out Alabama Boy on the Pharah just to keep them alive as they were split off on the other side of the map. Alabama Boy getting low, staying up, and now the Sound Barrier coming up from the Lucio to keep Salem Witches shielded up here and in the fight. Now self-destruct comes out once again, and they weren't able to find anything, and a nice shot coming in from Sexual is going to turn this tide in the favor of Chengdu as they throw a bomb onto the point as well. Jackie's able to take down one with the minefield. Now with Charlie getting rid of Sexual, this could be a change, although Pancake Sama throws in the self-destruct, takes down Charlie, and now with the follow-up kills, this is going to be another engagement for Chengdu.
Charlie had just peaked at the wrong time there for Pancake's Diva Bomb. It was... they thought they were safe. I thought they were safe there. Apparently, just a little bit showing around that corner as they get taken out. I don't know if they're aware that there's a baby diva underneath here.
Spoon just hiding and just trying to make sure they don't die and create that extra stagger. But now they do go down to Pancake, so that will be effectively a stagger, especially with Alabama Boy following suit. They're going to have to regroup and recontest her with more people, although it looks like they are committing people to the point, and those people once again fall as Charlie and Jackie decided to go in, see if they could make some noise, but the only noise they made was them screaming as they went to their deaths.
Down to a minute 30 here. They do have the Transcendence here, so Pancakes is going to need to be on, maybe keeping an eye on Charlie. But again, there's three ultimates here for Chengdu, and they're big ones. Another trap. Jackie has found every one of these traps.
It's been a rough go out there for the Wrecking Ball right now, and now that the Baby Diva and Spoon is going to get taken down, but now the Transcendence is actually committed by Arviso,
Oh,
and that could be huge, but they get knocked off the edge by the charging Reinhardt. I guess he'll take that trade every day. What a gutsy play coming out from the Reinhardt. Of course, it's gutsy when it works. It looks bad if it doesn't, but boy, you got lucky on that one and took out the Altings and Yada. Now, Photosexual has another Bob to help contest this point, but there is only 50 seconds remaining. And this really looks like it could be Chengdu's fight as they have 4 ultimates on the board and Salem doesn't have any.
they're coming into a lot here. Oh man, Charlie gets picked off by the Ana from Hulkhammer. So they're gonna have the go, but so much to walk into.
And now with Ali later and Arviso going down once again, only 30 seconds left, and the barrage gets committed by Alabama Boy, but the only thing that costs is his life as they get taken down as well. So this is looking extremely, extremely bad for Salem as they only have 10 seconds left. It looks like Jackie's going to be able to touch here and hopefully trigger overtime, but we'll be able to see what they can do with that. Jackie should also get a minefield coming in if they can hit something with the pile driver, and they do. But right away, the self-destruct is thrown out by Pancakes, and that's followed up with one from Spoon. They both get 1 kill each. Photosexual finishes off Charlie, who came back on the Widow. Photosexual also finding Alabama Boy, and now with the Hulkhammer getting in on the kill feed, this is looking like it's all over but the crying for Salem as they just don't have the people to put on the point anymore, and that overtime will bleed down and disappear. So now the match is 2-0 in favor of Chengdu Hunters, or Chengdu Chad, sorry, with that win on Hanamura.
I they I feel like Jackie might need to revisit the hamster here. They seem to be struggling with really getting a ton of value out of it. Like the minefields are good. As we can see here, Fletisexual though just left kind of alone as I don't think there's enough pressure getting onto them. You see 44 eliminations. I think we need to see a little bit more pressure. Small communication lapses, and it's the first week of the season, so it's not shocking. It's tough. So I think maybe slowing things down, looking for those initiations, perhaps with a Reinhardt where they can run some sort of a rush comp.
Yeah. And with Chengdu Chads up 2-0 now, their next map could be one to win. We'll see if Salem Witches can find a way back into the match after this. Hello, everyone, and we are back, New Beat here with Angels, as we get ready for map 3 of the day between the Chengdu Chads and the Salem Witches. Chengdu has taken both maps so far in very convincing fashion, so we'll see if Salem can start the reverse sweep here, or if this is going to be a 3-0 for Chengdu.
I like seeing the swap over to the Reinhardt here from Jackie. You can see they're already finding a lot more pressure here. We're actually running double main tank on top of Salem here.
And that is a very good start, too, as they are able to take down Spoon and Arviso as well. And now, once again, Chengdu wins a fight very quickly onto the point. They're getting that capture progress. They will probably cap point 8 here, as Salem Witches can't get back on the point 2 contest. Alabama boys able to find a late pick, but it doesn't matter here as that payload's going to start to move.
So we actually have seen quite a bit of changes here as we have now Ali later on to Arya. And they seem to be finding more value out of it already as the nanos come both Reinhardt.
And now Jackie goes down there. That could be huge. Or Jackie took down, and now Jackie goes down there. Arviso is able to trade that back and take down Pancake Salmon, who is on the Reinhardt. And with Ali later getting a pick, this could be the door opening for Salem. Although they have backed off for the moment. Alabama boy getting a tire in there to take down Hulkhammer. And now with Puyo going down as well, that is going to be a stabilization coming up from Salem.
I'm really liking this look from them. They're putting a lot of pressure. Poyu is still finding a lot of value on the Winston. But I feel like having Alabama Boy and Spoon is able to pressure down, the bubble from Poyu and Pancake Shield. They seem to be able to hold a lot more space here.
And we'll see what they can do with that space. Right now, Arviso does have a sound barrier ready to go if they need it to keep their team alive for the moment. Nice Bionade comes out from Hulkhammer, though. Gets the runner very low, but not dead quite yet. Now Spoon and Alabama Boy getting in there, getting kills. The Reinhardt pops the Primal and Puyo getting very low, though. I don't think that Winston is going to make it out, but it looks like they got out of dodge just in time to continue with their life. And now Spoon has a Dragon Strike ready to go to see if they want to contest this choke maybe, or just hang out in the back, wait for the other team to group up in Chengdu. But as so far, this has already looked like Salem's best map.
Yeah, they're finding so much more value here as the Dragon Strike comes in. Oh, the tire's coming right back from Charge of Limb.
Fortunately, that tire did get taken down, but Jackie and Charlie getting in there, and they are doing work right now. A nice fire strike coming out there from Jackie now on the Reinhardt. Gets rid of Puyo, and now Alabama Boy throws in a tire of their own. Gets Hulkhammer once again. It's like those tires just have Hulkhammer's name on them right now. Just an Anna, you just never want to see it. And this is looking like a much better defense coming out from the Witches.
They're finding, I think, a lot more value with between the communication. When you have that Rhine as an anchor point and you have Ali later on this on this Zarya, I think they're just finding a lot more value.
Absolutely. And now we'll see if Charlton wants to do something here in the back with the Drunk Rat, and they are able to sneakily take down Spoon. We'll see if that's enough of an opening for the rest of the Chads to push forward here, as they are getting a little bit forward. Nice fire strike once again from Jackie, just sniping with that Reinhardt. Takes down the end of the Winston, and that will be once again a nice rebuff coming out here from Salem Witches. They are holding this corner nicely. And the huge shatter came out from Jackie. That is absolutely massive into the Graviton Surge. What a shatter. That is huge.
Incredible. So we did see they did invest quite a bit into this fight. They are going to be coming up to the Dragon. So this will be hopefully enough to buy them a little bit more space. Looks like Jackie's looking for a little bit of a secret charge here. A little bumper charge coming through.
Well, it didn't work, Jackie. Sorry, better luck next time. They got counter-stunned by the other Reinhardt and de-lifed immediately. And now the big shatter is Pancake Sama as they are going forward. However, without that Graviton Surge that Salem used to really take hold of their shatter, there isn't much more done there, but Flip Sexual with 3 on the Deadeye.
Well, that'll be a nice bit of cart push for them here. I think, you always like to be sneaky with the sneaky Rhine charges in the back, and they did get the 1 pick with it, but it did leave their team pretty open.
And there it is again. Jackie again goes in for a charge and gets stunned out of it and deleted. So I think that strategy is going to have to be reconsidered by the main tank on the side of Salem, as now twice in a row it hasn't worked, and that's allowed for a ton of cart push coming up from Chengdu, who looked like for a while that they were stuck dead in the water, but now they are able to push forward. And this is looking better and better on their attack. Hulkhammer does have a nano boost. They might want to throw that
Oh,
onto the Reinhardt. It's looking very low. Instead, Alabama Boy takes down Charge Limb and his tire. So that will allow Chengdu to back up a little bit here, not take too much damage. Now that the Nano Boost comes in, so they are going to re-engage Pancake Sama, charging in deep on that Reinhardt. They can hit with a Bionade, but that damage reduction coming out from the Nano Boost with their shield allows them to stay alive and let Send Me Fly and get in there, get a pick with the Lucio. And now this could be the push right here for Chengdu, getting in deep. Once again, the Reinhardt is stunned, so the sound barrier has to come down on the other side from Arviso. But the payload is getting very close to the ender. Alley later throwing out a grab, getting a few caught in that. Another Deadeye comes out. Flooded Sexual is able to find one. And Chargeon getting a Viso. This could still go either way, but Alabama in the back popping off on the Junkrat. And that is a pivotal play coming in from the Junkrat, as that will allow them to hold on as Alabama Boy finds one more for good measure.
very nice recon test there. A little bit of patience we saw from everyone. It was a really nice nano from Charlie onto Ali later. And honestly, Charlie has been fantastic on this Ana. As soon as Pancakes was nanoed on that Reinhardt, immediately bionated and kind of shut down any aggression that was.
So we got some shatters coming in here to start off this fight, and Pancakes
Oh,
getting
boy.
into the back with that charge, and there is a lot going down right now for Chengdu as they are finding a ton of kills. Bob the Butler also gets taken out. Not technically a kill, but still sad to see the Butler get taken out of the fight. And now there's only 0.27 meters left to go on the payload, and the sound barrier comes out from Send Me Fly, and Charlie's able to get back and take down Charge Limb to get the Junkrat and their massive amounts of damage out of the fight. Jackie's back on point. They finish off the Lucio and then throw down the Shatter, not finding too much. A nice pin onto the Wrecking Ball, though, gets them very low, and Puyo has to go down, and now there's only a minute left. And this looks like it could be a hold for Salem Witches, which makes their attack that much more winnable and allows them to stay in this match.
This is just huge for them. Got it down to 0.27 meters. So they are going to get another chance. It's now at 30 seconds. So they've really set up a nice win condition for their attack. Again, Flood Sexual taken down by Alabama Boy. This is going to be very tough for them 5v6.
Alabama has been massive on the Junkrat in the later parts of this round on King's Row, and that will enable their defense so much more to hold on to the space and not make sure this fight even starts on the payload, as there's only 10 seconds left to go. So Chengdu knows they have to get down to the point. Sound barrier comes out from Arviso as their Reinhardt and Jackie was getting low. Doesn't matter for Spoon, though, as Spoon is eliminated. Now Flood Sexual pulls out the Deadeye and takes down one more. Alabama is able to get a trade back, but it will be too little too late, as with the eliminations coming in, Chengdu will push his payload in an overtime and get all 3 checkpoints here on King's Row.
Nice attack there from Chengdu. I think they really seem to find their footing here. Looks like we're going to have a quick pause. Looks like it's some sort of a connection issue here. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back once we get everyone back in the game.
try for that first elimination, and when they don't find it, they switch to someone else. But it looks like in this case here, Jackie's going to stay on this Widow and see if they can click some hits.
It's an interesting composition switch we've seen again. So Alabama Boys now on to the Zarya with Reinhardt and Spoon on the on the Symmetry here. So mixing things up again here as Alligator gets nanoed.
Alligator's got nanoed quickly a couple times. It really does seem like Charlie's been building up those nanos very quickly. But this time it will not matter as Charge Limb, Poyu, Fluttersexual all getting in on the fun. And that will be a fight win for Chengdu Chaz. And if they hold for another 3 minutes here, which they could, that's going to be lights out. That's going to be the end of the match. So Salem Witches really have to pick it up here and find a way through and get this payload moving.
I'm kind of confused, to be honest, regarding the comp switch they have here. Oh, big tire coming over the top.
Massive tire. Charge a Limb gets 2 with the rip tire. Fluttersexual getting in, taking down Spoon as well. That is going to be, once again, just Chengdu rolling right over Salem.
Yeah, I'm not convinced this compositional swap is really going to work for them. They had so much success with Jackie on this Reinhardt and Ali later on the Zarya, so I'm not sure why this swap happened, but we're still seeing some of this nice aggression coming out with the Reinhardt.
Ali later did land the slam, and they did take down Puyu, so that's a good first pick. And then the Sound Barrier came out to get them through that choke. Semi-Flying was able to get a resurrection in there. And now with Pancake Salmon taking down Ali Lara on that opposing Reinhardt, it's just all over right now for the Witches. They got a minute 45 left to go. Jackie gets a nice pick on Sun and Flying, so they have the spawn advantage right now. Their spawn is much closer to the point as the attackers. So let's see if they can take advantage of the pick onto Semi-Flying.
Jackie's going to have to get a lot done here if they want to match the time here of Chengdu. I don't know. They're finding so much success. Oh, what a pick that was, though.
Oh, Spoon with 3 for the Dragon Strike. That's gotta do it. Getting on to the point now. They have the numbers, they have the damage, and now they have the point as they are going to take point A. He is able to take down Charlie here late, but I don't think it's going to matter. They're hiding in the bottom of the hotel right now. Fluttersexual's Ash is up top, still trying to pepper in damage, but it seems like it's just harassment at this point. Another nice shot from Spoon comes in, finding the head of the Ash. That will take them out. And now with Pancake Salmon getting demeched and delifed once again, it looks like this is just a stagger to buy some time, whatever time that may be. And now the payload will be moving as the Salem Witches have finally taken point A. And Spoon, once again, my word.
Just, of course, as it's always the way, as I'm saying, like, I don't know, Jackie. And then they just completely dome Pancakes as they're coming out of the mech there, which kind of really began the success of that push here. Alabama Boys push way up. They are going to make it out here. So
that was a dicey push from the Zarya for sure. But they were able to make it back into the warm embrace of their team and stay alive. Charge a Limb in the back on the high ground, trying to see if they can set up for a tire here. Just now in the backline, throwing out some of the junk bombs, that primary fire, and they are able to take down Ali later with the help of Hulkhammer. And now with another couple picks coming in for Chengdu Chads, they're going to be able to hold here this archway, which can be such a strong defensive position here on King's Row.
It is devastating. Getting stopped here is absolutely devastating. Jackie's saying they're playing Widowmaker on 101 ping. Ooh.
And they still get more headshots than I do.
Oh, wow. A nice dragon. Again, it's a second triple kill from Spoon on that dragon.
Spoon's dragons are hungry, and he is letting them eat right now. That is another very nice ultimate coming out from the Hanzo. Charlie has worked their way up to a nano boost, so a little bit of momentum coming in here for Salem Witches, and they can really push forward and contest the end of point B here to see if they can get this payload all the way through.
They're going to have to be really careful. There is a Bob and a tire available as the Nano comes onto Ali later.
Jackie did find another head onto Fluttersexual as well. The Shatter came out but didn't find much more, so that was blocked by the shield of Puyo. And now Jackie and Ali are coming back in and getting a couple picks. So this looks like it's still very winnable for Salem. Ali keeping the aggression up, trying to get in there deep, and now The Nano comes out on the other side onto the opposing Reinhardt, who gets in, charges Ali, and takes them down. And W is raining terror down upon the Salem Witches as they take down two more. And this is was looking very good 20 seconds ago for Salem, is now looking incredibly dire.
They got to get off this widow. Like they're finding some good picks. They had their most success though when they were able to spam in with this Junkrat because Poyu has been so aggressive and they seem to be able to punish them when they were running this kind of high damage spam comp with the Hanzo and the Junkrat. And I'm not certain why they swapped off of this.
It could be they're just hoping for more picks, but now over on the Doofus, it looks like they're just trying to contest. Spoon once again finds a kill with the Dragon. Unfortunately, this time this is the one they really needed 3 picks and weren't able to get it. Pancake Sama was able to trade that out by eliminating Jackie on the aforementioned Doomfist. Send him flying, gets back in, gets the Russian onto the Junkrat, and now it's Poyu getting in and taking down Spoon. We have 5 seconds left. They are on the point, so overtime will get triggered here. Pancake Sama getting in there with a self-destruct. And that is crazy from Ali. What an Earth Shatter coming in. But will it be enough as the Nano Boost comes in and now the self-destruct? And it looks like it's tantalizingly close, but just not there. Jackie on the Two Fist just can't do enough by themselves. And that is going to be it. It is all over. The Chengdu Chads win. They take it 3-0 in a very strong showing in the first match of the season.
I think they're going to be looking forward to a good season. We saw a lot of bright spots there. However, as we were talking about Salem Witches, some real highlights here, including Ali later on this Zarya. This is really nice play, and
Yeah.
the Nano Reinhardt just shattering everybody into the ground. This is I think as good as Salem looked, and I'd like to see them lean into that a little bit more. I think there was a lot of opportunity there. We saw a lot of success, and especially coming into a new season, that you got to be looking for that. And that seemed to everything seemed to line up for them running this Ryan Zarya comp, and it's King's Row, so
Mhm.
Ryan Zarya isn't an uncommon sight there, and it did seem to work in their favor.
Absolutely. And even though Salem did get 3-0, and it always sucks when you lose without winning a map, they do have some stuff to build off of for the weeks upcoming because they did look stronger as the game went on. And I think if they can work out some of the compositional kinks and who's playing well, because we did see some role switches there in King's Row at the end as well, I think there's still definitely some talent on that team. Having said that, Chengdu Chads just looked absolutely in sync for the first week of the season. Like we were talking about, like, it's first week, so we can see why maybe Salem has some disconnect, has some things to work out positioning wise and like disengages and stuff like that. Chengdu, for the most part, looked very compact and played very well together.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of synergy there, but also we saw some just masterclass play from I would say especially from the Reinhardt from Poyu. Just so much aggression, a ton of support. We saw Fletosexual stay alive in places where they had no right to be honest.
Yeah.
Being the last one on the point as a McCree, and just getting all that healing to make it out. So I think as the communication for Salem keeps building through the course of the season, I think they have a lot to look forward to. Um, I do think it's obviously, again, as we were saying, it's the first map, so some of these
Yeah.
role changes kind of make sense to come out. It seemed like they did find some stuff that was working. I'd like to see them continue to build on that because there is a lot to build on. There's a lot of talent on that team.
And the last thing I will say, you mentioned Fletosexual there. I'm gonna give them player of the game, not only for their play, especially on the Ash on Hanamura, they were absolutely cracked. But the name itself is hilarious. So good job
That
on the
means you get
name.
MVP.
Yeah, like I have pretty creative standards when it comes to MVP when nobody makes me pick. So for Aegis, I am Newbeat. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mock Overwatch League Season 6, Week 1. Chengdu Chads taking the Salem Witches 3-0 with the win. And that will be it for us tonight, and we hope to see you next time.